Hey everybody, this is Dream, and today we have a nice little 4-game NBA slate for you. Before I get started, can you guys smash that like and subscribe button? Hope everybody did well today or yesterday. I did really good in college basketball. Did okay in NBA, but not great. But did manage to cash most places. So let's go and get into the slate here. We're going to start by looking at our just the overall players today with just a small slate. So Giannis is going to be a top option today. He's been playing pretty good when Lillard misses. So if Lillard misses again, he'll be in play. Lillard is currently questionable, and so he's definitely a viable option on the slate. I forgot to go through the injury report. So we have Lillard is questionable. Magic Carter Jr. is out for the Heat. Hero is out, and for the Cavs, Okoro is out. As for Giannis, though, he had 71 fantasy points in the game that Lillard missed the other day. I look for him to continue to have big games so long as Lillard is out because he'll be the priority in the offense. So we'll have to wait and see on Lillard, but it does kind of look like he's more likely not to play. He's still questionable, obviously, so we'll wait and see. Obviously, if Lillard was to miss, then Cameron Payne would get a little bit of a boost, as would Pat Connaughton. So then we're going to look at Bam Adebayo here from Miami. Now, this is interesting since the hero is out. Um, Bam is going to get more usage as a result, and he's been playing pretty well lately regardless. His price is also still pretty good for him. Obviously, if it gets too much more expensive, he'll be harder to roster as he has have a low floor. As you can see, he's had several 20 fantasy point games, but overall, he's typically in the 40-50 range. So with this matchup and with the situation with Hero being out, he's likely going to get more usage in this one and has some decent upside. Same goes for Jimmy Butler, who really has taken a backseat to Hero so far this season, as you can see his fantasy aspect. But his price has also come down a little bit to $8,300, and that gives him some upside, especially with Hero out. That should give him some potential here. Now he is probable for this game, so do keep that in mind. But he's definitely a capable option on the slate, especially against a team that he should be able to do very well against. So obviously his floor has been lower this season, but with Hero out, he gets a little bit more upside. Then we're going to look at, excuse me, Darius Garland for Cleveland. Now, he's played pretty well in the few games he's played. His price has come down a little bit as well, which is nice. He's been hurt off and on so far early in the season, but I look for him to have a really solid game today. The Cleveland does have most of their guys healthy, though, so obviously he should get good minutes and he should have decent usage in this one. And But he definitely has to get those peripheral stats like rebounds and assists and stuff. But he's definitely capable of a really solid game today. His price is just about as much as I'd want it to be on the slate, but he's definitely a viable candidate. Then we're going to look at, let's see here, Jarrett Allen for Cleveland as well. Now, Jarrett has played pretty well in this few games since he's been back, though he's been on minutes limits. I expect him to continue to get better and better as he gets back into it, obviously. So um, he could get his minutes increased today and then going forward. So we'll have to wait and see. But I do like his potential in this game, especially with his price coming down a little bit more. So even if he plays 25 to 30 minutes, he still has that potential to get over 30 fantasy points, which is really nice on the slate. He's been playing really solid and scoring a good amount of points. He hasn't had a double double yet, but he's definitely capable of doing that. So I really like his potential in this game, especially with the nice upside matchup. And then we'll look at uh, Bogdanovich for Atlanta. Now they do face a tougher matchup against Miami, but he's still pretty cheap, and he's still been extremely good so far this season with only one game under 20 fantasy points. His price only came up $200 from the last game, so I think he's a good option on the slate. Though he is getting a lot of steals and blocks to really kind of boost his fantasy output the last few games, but he is capable of a solid game as he's getting some rebounds and assists each game, which is definitely helping. And he scored in double figures in all but one game since the first game of the year. So I do like his upside in this matchup and has good potential. Then we'll look at Duncan Robinson from Miami. Now he should be the big benefactor with Hero potentially out, or with Hero out. Now he's played pretty solid in the games he's played, though he does tend to be a shooting, does need to score points really to pay off here. But he's definitely capable in this matchup as he has really good upside potential here, especially with the fact he's going to get more shots in this one. So he's hitting quite a few threes in the last few games too, which is really helping his fantasy potential, which is obviously why his prices come up a little bit. But even with the price that increase, I think he's got a really good opportunity in this game with Hero out to take over and have a pretty big fantasy output game. And so I do like his potential. Then we'll look at Okongwu for Atlanta. Now he's been really consistent recently as he since the first two games of the year. He's getting around 20 to 25 minutes a game most times, and he's been filling those fantasy points up. Now last game he did it with blocks and steals, but he has been rebounding the ball very well, and this is a game where he should get more rebound opportunity against Miami, who's going to shoot some outside shots. So I expect him to have a good rebounding game here, coming off the bench, obviously, but behind Capella, but he has some nice upside here. So with that said, guys, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below, and have a nice day, guys.